Hello again. Welcome back to another episode of this new podcast that I've started on Spotify and YouTube. Taco and Text Adventure ASMR. And for those who are new to this podcast, this is a podcast where me, Jeremy, eat a taco on this podcast, and later on we play a very old retro text adventure game. Many of them we grew up with as boomers, leaving all these terminology mixed up, as well as Generation X, more importantly the Generation X. Grew up with the computer games at school as well as at home, where the player is forced to use their mind's eye rather than a visual stimulation of the ocular nerves. There is an imagination where the adventurer narrates a text adventure game and may have to explore the castle or the cave or a strange location and pick up items and battle monsters on the way. This is a very fun game. I really enjoy these kind of games. And our previous game that we played on this podcast series was Colossal Cave Adventure. You can see the back episodes. Recently I finished that game, and you can see it on Spotify as well as YouTube Video Gamers Oasis. Make sure to subscribe, click the notification bell about YouTube channel, and support my Spotify channel. In this episode, we're going to start playing a new text adventure game, Theater, an interactive night of horror. Copyright 1995 by Cave Rock Software Limited, all rights reserved. In keeping with the theme of October 2025, I make it a habit every year to play spooky games, creepy games. I'm not too much into the really gruesome, gory games, but I really love mystery, suspense, and haunted houses. Anything to do with those kind of things. You've got my interest. You've piqued my interest. So we're going to play this game in just a few minutes. We need to start with the introduction, all this episode, because we're going to keep this moving all the way till October as much as we can. If we finish this game before the end of October, before the next week or so, we are probably going to play another spooky text adventure game to make up for the rest of the month. Up to Halloween. If you celebrate it, hope you're having an enjoyable time, staying safe, checking the candy to make sure it's safe to eat, check with your parents, make sure that parents inspect the candy, look both ways before you cross the street. So we're going to start Theater in just a few minutes. Just in case, just wanted to mention the elephant in the room. My voice sounds a little bit strange. I'm a big shout out to 11labs.com. 11 Labs on the internet is a AI software website where you can make artificial voices, and you can dub your own voice. You can change the sound of your voice. I'm trying something a little bit different. I'm using a voice called an artificial AI voice called Vincent to create a sort of like a British whisper narrator. Because I want to make this series more ASMR. If it's not enough ASMR from previous episodes, I want to make my voice more relaxing, more soothing. Because that's the goal of this podcast, is to play text adventure games in a very soothing voice that makes you want to go to sleep. And if you do go to sleep while listening to these podcast episodes, well, mission accomplished in that case. The ideal goal has been achieved. So we're going to delve into this spooky text adventure game, and I also look like a ghost. I thought that'd be a kind of like a good theme for this game, is to have my face look like a ghost. Send some likes, send some love. If you enjoy this floor mat that I've created, does it look spooky enough for you? I hope it does. And subscribe, click the notification bell of this YouTube channel. Follow my Spotify channel, podcast, Taco and Text Adventure, ASMR. Before we get on with the gameplay, we're going to do our customary eating of the taco. Today's episode of Taco and Text Adventure Tuesday is brought to you by Old El Paso Dinner Kit, new bold nacho cheese flavored taco shells. There are 10 hard shell taco shells in each box. And I'd already already made 3 samples of hard shell tacos. El Paso bold nacho cheese shells. They kind of always had a pumpkin color to it, yellowish orange. It's appropriate for Halloween for those who celebrate it. And it is really the taco I made here. I made some, what I did is I got some delicatessen turkey, chopped up, mixed with taco del sauce, barbecue sauce, and chopped onions, stir-fried in a microwave to a very steaming hot, kind of thick sauce. And I placed it on the bottom of each taco shell. Then I placed some shredded Old Fort cheese to give it a little bit of tangy flavor, and some spinach, some diced onions, diced tomatoes, black olives, and jalapenos on the top of each. Topping is a glob of white plain yogurt. So now at every episode, we sample one taco before our text adventure game. Now, almost for that, we always want to start each meal with saying grace. So always be grateful, whatever denomination you are, be grateful for your food. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We are so grateful for this food. Now, I want to enjoy our taco. Very fond of slang because I made it pretty recently, so it's not going to be solid. You can really taste the natural cheese in that shell. Turkey, grated cheese, spinach, onions, sliced olives, sliced jalapenos, diced onions, I mentioned already. And plain yogurt, will it taste the flavor there? Has a very robust, tangy flavor. Always important to wipe your mouth if you have some globules of food on your face. That's good manners. That's a good taco. So there you have it. That was a sample of our taco. The special bold nacho cheese flavored taco shells. As this concludes our taco eating segment of Taco and Text Adventure Tuesday episode. Now on to the Text Adventure game. Let us begin the game. Theater. An interactive night of horror. Copyright 1995 by Cave Rock Software Limited. All rights reserved. Press any key to continue. ... Let's do that. Alright, this is the first screen after the title screen, beginning the game. In square brackets, it reads, first of all, on the top of the screen, there is a description of each scene. In this scene, the room is called the theater lobby. Square brackets. Instructions and other information is available by typing help at the right, I guess it's called triangular bracket prompt, and pressing enter or return. The paragraph goes on to read, another day, another dollar. Life is good at the moment. The property market is booming. Still, it does have its downside. When showing those Mueller Corporation executives around that old theater dump, opportunity, you must have left your paycheck down in the basement. Better hurry. You have to meet the others at the opera in an hour. And be careful. It wouldn't do to show up with your clothes all dirty. Now we have the subheading. It reads in big bold white letters, Theater Lobby. This room is a tribute to the now faded glory of the theater. The still, smiling faces of forgotten productions stare out from faded posters at you. An old, grand staircase leads up, while the exit lies to the south. Small, private doors lead northeast and northwest. What do you want to do now? Question mark. So there we have the triangular brackets and a white cursor, square cursor to indicate the game is waiting for my response. I'm going to type the word help. So now we've been directed to the theater help menu. Help is available for the following, : First of all, we have details about the authors. Next, we have version and released information. Next, we have copyright and other legal drivel. Next, we have help for beginners. And after that, we have list of special commands. Next, after that, we have general hints for novice players. Help me. I am stuck. Help me, I am generally stuck. Story of the lyric theater. And how do you start the game? ? On the top of the screen, we have theater help menu. The letter N equals next subject. The word return equals read subject. To the far right of the page, the letter P equals previous, and the letter Q equals resume game. Theater credits. Theater was designed and written by Brendan Weiber. However, theater would not have come to existence without the efforts of several people. Graham Nelson created the Infocom compiler, which is the text adventure game development system used to create this game. Because Infocom is such an integral part of the game system, Graham gets co-author credits. But please don't bother him with problems about the game itself. It wasn't his fault. Third paragraph. Theater was valiantly beta tested by Paul Jansen, Michael Quignon, Jay Larios, Paul Ledoux, Mike Oliphant, Andrew C. Plotkin, Gareth Reese, Steve Salter, Richard Scipone, or Scipion, if I pronounced that correctly, Andy Smith, Stephen Van Egmond, and The Adder. Quote-unquote post-release debugging was performed by Richard Barnett, Bozzy, Robert A. DeLisle, Robert M. DeCaw, Paul David Doherty, Martin Dunspan, Jason Dyer, Chris Malone, Michael S. Phillips, Nayu Chizu, NYUCHEZUU, Shampoo, and Dan Shiovitz, as well as Todd from Virginia, Jacob Solomon Weinstein, Jerry Kevin Wilson, and many others. Mark Howell wrote the interpreter, brackets known as zip, which is commonly used to run this game. The implementors from Infocom designed the Z machine, which is the standard used by Inform and Zip, It asks to press the enter for more information. And finally, Joel Furr wrote a short story on the lyric theater, which inspired this game. This story is included in the game under the topic Story of the Lyric Theater. Any comments or bug reports are always welcome. Cave Rock's internet email address is the quickest and easiest method for contact. However, a mail address is also given. Brendan@caverock.co.nz and mail: Cave Rock Software Limited. Attention: Brendan Weiber, P.O. Box 22-488, Christ Church, New England. Square brackets, please press space. Next on the list of the help menu, version and release information. Theater version history. In big, bold, capital letters, Theater. An interactive night of horror. Written by Brendan Weiber and Graham Nelson. Copyright 1995 by Cave Rock Software Limited. All rights reserved. The actual game Theater was designed by Brendan Weiber. Theater Release 2, brackets, serial number 951203/build 1062. You are playing Theater on Interpreter 4 version F. Theater was written using the Inform compiler by Graham Nelson. Inform compiler V1502, brackets, library, release number 5/12/serial number 951024. This is the second release of Theater. It has been recompiled to use the latest version of the Inform library and language. This has fixed several bugs. square bracket, and probably introduced a few more, smiley face. Several corrections have been made fixing both grammar and spelling errors, as well as some bugs found in the first release. This version contains some new responses to unanticipated inputs, but contains no new locations, puzzles, or objects. Square brackets, more. Italics title, old version information. Theater release 1, brackets, serial number 950-721/build1050. Inform compiler V1501, brackets, library release number 5/10/serial number 950525. Released on the 27th of August, 1995 to the ftp.gmd.de interactive fiction, brackets, adventure game, archive site, maintained by Volker Blasius. This is the first released. Enjoy. Please press space. Next on the help menu, copyright and other legal dribble. Theater legal dribble, says the top of the page. Goes on to read, Theater is copyright 1995 by Cave Rock Software Limited. All rights reserved. The Lyric Theater short story is copyright 1989. Joel Furr. Theater is copyright, but permission is given for this game to be freely distributed by any and all possible means. Note, no costs may be charged except for the distribution costs. In the author's opinion, if you paid for this program and you didn't get it on a CD-ROM filled with other programs, you have been cheated. Although this game uses the data file format of Infocom's Z Machine, it contains no code that was written by them. Square brackets, please press space. Next on the help menu list, we have Introduction to Text Adventures, also known as Help for Beginners. In square brackets, it reads, when you see the square brackets, put a quote more, prompt, brackets, or something similar, just press any key to continue, ... First paragraph. Theater is a text-only adventure game. These are basically large and complex logic puzzles presented in a form of a story in which you are the central character. In theater, you are a property developer who, in the progress of attempting to sell an old, disused theater, leaves an electronic pager in the basement. Later on, when you come back to retrieve it, you become trapped by the theater's denizens. To win, you must escape. But before you can do that, you must learn its secrets. When you play theater, the computer will describe to you your surroundings, and then you type in at the greater than or the arrow bracket, quote unquote, prompt what you want to do. pressing return or enter when finished. No time will pass in the game until you press return or enter, so you can take your time deciding what to do. Since it is easiest to learn from example, what follows is a transcript showing the typical things that can happen in a game like theater. Note that this is a made-up example and the following does not appear in theater. The comments which appear in this style of print are not part of the example and are directed at you. Also, what the player types in appears in uppercase letters, but in fact when playing the game it doesn't really matter upper lowercase text which case you'll use. Square brackets, more. Introduction to Text Adventures. Before you is Wellington House, site of the famous Red Lady Ghost. You now regret your bet to stay overnight in this miserable dump, but you couldn't really back down in front of everyone after opening your big mouth about how ghosts could never exist. Now you have to stay in the cold all night, with nothing to look forward to except the inevitable break-in by the others and their lame attempts to scare you. Let's hope they bring some decent beer with them. ... Big bold letters, title reads, or subtitle, Haunted. A non-interactive instruction by Brendan Weiber. Version 6.66. New players should type in help. Dedicated to level 9 computing fans everywhere. Next subheading in big bold letters or upper lowercase bold letters, the driveway. Weeds choke this overgrown driveway, obscuring the view of the house. Tall trees surround you, giving you an intense feeling of isolation. The driveway winds north. What do you want to do now? Question mark. And the prompt reads, after that it reads in capital letters, go north. Square bracket, more. Continuing the article. Continuing the article. Introduction to Text Adventures. Subheading, in front of the house. Before you was Wellington House itself. What do you want to do now? Type in north or N. Square brackets. Obviously, you would soon tire of typing go north all the time, so you can abbreviate that to a simple N. The other compass direction are abbreviated also. Subheading in front of the house. Before you is Wilmington House itself. Once this place would have been very regal and grand, but now after years of neglect it is ruined. Vines cover the house in a thick web. The large front door, leading in to the north, has a brass knocker on it. The driveway leads to the south. What do you want to do now? In the prompt, type in square brackets. Obviously, you would soon tire of typing go north all the time, so you can abbreviate that to a simple N. The other compass direction are abbreviated also. Next, the large front door blocks your way. What do you want to do now? Prompt, open door. The large front door is locked, and you do not have the key. Square brackets, more. Continue with the article, Introduction to Text Adventures. What do you want to do now? In the prompt, type push door. The door does not budge. What do you want to do now? The prompt, type kick door. The door looks pretty solid. Violence isn't the answer. Square brackets in italics. Here, the player has encountered the first puzzle, getting into the actual house. Puzzles are not obstacles, but are challenges. Usually, if you are stuck on a particular puzzle and seem to be getting nowhere, you need to try a different approach. What do you want to do now? In the prompt, type the letter L. Square brackets in italics. L is an abbreviation for look around, which will redisplay the description of the current location. Square brackets, more. Text Adventures continued article. In front of the house. Before you is Wellington House itself. Once this place would have been very regal and grand, but now after years of neglect it is ruined. Vines cover the house in a thick web. The large front door leading into the north has a brass knocker on it. The driveway leaves to the south. What do you want to do now? In the prompt, type in knock on the door. You knock on the door, but your knuckles produce only a soft, rapping noise. What do you want to do now? In the prompt, type in knock on the door with the brass knocker. The brass knocker made a loud and deep knocking noise that reverberates through the entire house. You can hear a noise from inside the house. What do you want to do now? In the prompt, type in wait. And now, in square brackets, more. Continuing on the article, Introduction to Text Adventures. Time passes. ... You can hear something moving towards the door. It is making a slithering, hissing noise. What do you want to do now? In the prompt, type in wait. Time passes. ... You can hear a slithering from just behind the door. What do you want to do now? In the prompt, type in wait. Time passes. ... Paragraph reads, the front door opens and a madness-inducing mass of tentacles and slime emerges. You are paralyzed with fear and cannot even scream as the tentacles close around you. ... Square brackets, more. Continuing on Introduction to Text Adventures. Continuing the article, 3 asterisks. You have died. 3 asterisks. Next paragraph, do you want to restart, restore a saved game, or quit? In the prompt, type in restart. Square brackets. Sometimes, if things go hideously wrong, you can die. Fortunately, unlike real life, you can just try again. Next paragraph. Before you is Wellington House, site of the famous Red Lady ghost. You now regret your bet to stay overnight in this miserable dump, but you couldn't really back down in front of everyone after opening your big mouth about how ghosts could never exist. Now you have to stay in the cold all night with nothing to look forward to except the inevitable break-in by the others and their lame attempts to scare you. Let's hope they bring some decent beer with them. ... In big bold letters, subheading haunted. Square brackets more. Introduction to Continue the article, Introduction to Text Adventures. A non-interactive instruction by Brendan Weiber, version 6.66. New players should type in help, dedicated to level 9 computing fans everywhere. Subheading, The Driveway. Weeds choke this overgrown driveway, obscuring the view of the house. Tall trees surround you, giving you an intense feeling of isolation. The driveway winds north. What do you want to do now? ? Type in the prompt N. Subheading, In front of the house. Before you was Wellington House itself. Once this place would have been very regal and grand, but now after years of neglect it is ruined. Vines cover the house in a thick web. The large front door leading in to the north has a brass knocker on it. The driveway leads to the south. What do you want to do now? In the prompt, type in Examine Vines. Square brackets more. Introduction to Text Adventures, continued on the article. They look rather sturdy and completely entangle the house. What do you want to do now? ? Type in Climb Vines, and the subheading reads, On the roof. You are high up on the roof of Wellington House. You can see all around you the overgrown and neglected Wellington estate. Vines lead down, while an open window leads west. What do you want to do now? ? Type in the prompt West or W. Subheading Darkness. It is too dark in here to see anything. What do you want to do now? In the prompt, type in E. On the roof. Square brackets more. T1 Introduction to Text Adventures. You are high up on the roof of Wellington House. You can see all around you the overgrown and neglected Wellington estate. Vines lead down, while an open window leads west. What do you want to do now? In the prompt, type in Inventory. In italic letters, square brackets, Inventory, brackets usually abbreviated to I, lists all the things that you are carrying. You are carrying a tourist map of Paris, a flashlight, and a set of cards. What do you want to do now? The prompt, type in Examine the cards. You brought these along in case you got bored. What do you want to do now? Prompt, type in Examine the flashlight. You thought this may come in handy. It is currently switched off. Square brackets more. Continuing the article, Introduction to Text Adventures. What do you want to do now? ? Turn the flashlight on. The flashlight emits a steady beam of light. What do you want to do now? In the prompt, type in West or W. Subheading Attic. The attic is a maze of old storage boxes and other dust-covered junk. A closed trapdoor leads down. On one of the boxes rests an old bird cage. A cupboard sits in the corner. A ladder rests against the wall. What do you want to do now? Square brackets more. D1 Introduction to Text Adventures. MB. In the prompt, type in take cage. Birdcage, taken. What do you want to do now? Prompt, examine cupboard. Old and wooden. It is currently closed. What do you want to do now? In the prompt, type in open it. Italic, square brackets. Generally, for convenience, you can refer to the last object you referred to as it. You open the cupboard, revealing an old robe, a suitcase, an umbrella, and a small mirror. You also notice some writing on the cupboard door. What do you want to do now? Prompt, read writing, square brackets, more. Continue on the article, quote unquote, shelter I offer to the cursed, unlucky or damned. What do you want to do now? In the prompt, type in enter cupboard. Strangely, as you attempt to enter the cupboard, you seem to be repelled by a strange, unseen force. What do you want to do now? Prompt, take everything from cupboard. Square brackets, to save time, many verbs allow you to use capital everything instead of forcing you to specify each individual object. Old robe, taken. Suitcase, taken. Umbrella, taken. Small mirror, taken. What do you want to do now? Square brackets, more. Continuing the article, and the prompt, type in open the umbrella. You open the umbrella. Square brackets, you feel a little unlucky. What do you want to do now? In the prompt, type in break the mirror. The mirror shatters. Square brackets, you feel even more unlucky. What do you want to do now? In the prompt, type in walk under the ladder. You walk under the ladder. Square brackets, you feel a really unlucky now. Square brackets, more. Continuing on the introduction to text adventures help article, you walk under the ladder, you feel unlucky now, and what do you want to do now? In the prompt, type in enter cupboard. Strangely, you are allowed entry now into the cupboard. As you get into it, you notice it seems quite deep. You move further into it and seems to get even bigger and bigger until you realize it has become another place, ... Subheading, the hall. You are in a large wooden hall, ... Excuse me. Square brackets, italic. Hopefully, you get the idea of the style of play now. I'll have a glass of water. Hopefully, you get the idea of the style of play now. Do not feel too disillusioned if the quote-unquote unluck puzzle above seems a little unfair or far-fetched. It is only an example. For most of the harder puzzles in theater, there will be subtle hints and clues as well. Square brackets, please press space. Friends, I'm going to take a little break here. My voice is starting to get a little hoarse. We've been beginning to play Theater, an interactive text adventure game made in 1995. We've been reading the help menu. We're still working on that. I assure you, I promise I'll actually play the game itself, but not until next week, as every episode I play it on Tuesday. Tuesday night is Taco and Text Adventure games, and my voice is starting to get croaky and it's telling me to take a break from reading. So I will continue on next week. We'll continue on reading. We've already finished Help for Beginners. We're going to learn about lists of special commands, general hints for novice players, help me, I am generally stuck, the story of the lyric theater, and how do you start the game. Next week, I hope you'll join me for that. We will continue on that adventure and we'll see if we can finish the game as well. You've been watching Taco and Text Adventure Tuesday, ASMR, and I'm your host, Journey. Make sure to follow my Spotify channel, or I do a podcast on that channel as well. Subscribe and click the notification bell. To the Gamers Oasis, my main YouTube channel, where I do retro gaming, video game history, video game trivia, and I also post the podcast as well on that channel. Send some likes, send some love, subscribe, click the notification bell if you haven't already. Send some super thanks to show appreciation for the hard work I do on this channel. If you feel inclined, thank you for watching and enjoy the rest of October 2025. I'll see you next Tuesday, which will be the final Tuesday of October 2025.